Oi guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. As the VCT playoffs are just about to get underway in various regions around the world, big drama going on last night, especially with regard to the social media treatment of G2 versus Sentinels. Zekken not especially happy with G2's tweet poking fun at Sentinels for not making it in the end to the playoffs while G2 did. Lots of reaction as a result. Derke getting involved in quite a spicy fashion as well. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. First of all, VALORANT Masters Shanghai taking place in the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Tickets in 6 prices as we can see here. No information on ticket sales yet, but this is the setup. These are the prices. This is the venue, and I'm sure that it's going to be pretty spectacular. I know there was talk as well, just out of interest for you guys, on what's going to happen with Gen.G, because I think they are playing like right now in League of Legends in China, but Gen.G, they recognize Taiwan as its own country, whereas of course the Chinese line is that ain't the case. It's part of China, and various political frictions will continue on that over time. So I think Gen.G as a result, I wouldn't say they're banned in China precisely, but I don't believe that they are gonna be on the Chinese broadcasting. So it might get kind of interesting. I don't know if there's anything in that, but just because Gen.G have qualified now officially for Shanghai, they are going to be there. That 2-1 victory against Derke confirmed that. So they will be there in Shanghai in China, and I don't know, I think it's going to be, there probably will be some talk about it at the time as a result. I don't know if there's going to be anything major in it, but it's just one thing to think about, that Gen.G and let's say, that the CCP don't necessarily get on especially well, and that might have implications for what could happen at the event. But speaking of the Pacific playoffs, one very interesting update is that the new patch update, the major new patch, will be played in the final couple of rounds. So, if you guys didn't see the other day, major Viper nerfs have come through, and it's likely the meta will change quite considerably going into Shanghai. Now, understandably, the teams are thinking, do we really want to play the entirety of the playoffs with the current meta, turn up to Shanghai and play an entirely new patch, a new meta? Probably not the best idea. I mean, maybe Paper X wouldn't mind because they do whatever they want anyway, but there are certainly some teams that wouldn't be so happy about this. So instead, it seems they are going to actually play on the patch slightly before Shanghai, and then it's going to be in the losers finals and the grand finals. So as Data says here, this isn't entirely correct. We are playing new patch in the VCT Pacific, losers finals, grand finals. Now this makes some sense because these 3 teams are already in. T1, Gen.G, Paper X have already qualified. So it doesn't actually, as I said before, it doesn't massively matter what happens here. The 3 points for winning is nice, for sure, for making the World Championship, but it's not a massive deal in the grand scheme of things. So they've decided that these 2 games will be played on the new patch update. So these teams get some practice time, and I imagine there's an argument to say, do that in the other regions as well. Once the teams are locked in, then new patch for the final couple of games, which is probably a good idea, but I do think it kind of indicates that this whole structure and season format has been far from the best. Couple of stats to look for: the Americas, stage 1, Aspas with a 1.31 rating, Oxy was second, Heat, King, Cryo, obviously good 100 Thieves representation. I thought it was kind of impressive to see 300 T guys here, all within a pretty close-knit group, which is going to goes to show how well they've played against a very strong opposition group, actually, when you look back at it. Obviously 100T as well, the best D in the Americas, 56% victory, 72 out of 129 rounds. Crew it up here, but that's the highest number you're going to find, 56% defense round win percentage. Sentinels down at 42%, which is actually really rather low. It ain't as bad as Furia with 27%. I mean, 27% of defensive rounds, like, that is just awful. I mean, MRBR at 34%. But honestly, if you look at the attacking side, Sentinels led the way by quite some margin. They won 2/3 of their attacking round, Sentinels. 91 out of 137. Fury was still down here at 44%. MRBR were the worst in the league by quite some margin. 100 tier basically bang on 50%, just below, of course, 50 out of 101. But yeah, just goes to show you that Sentinels, if their defense was slightly tighter, if they were in that 50% category, they would have comfortably, I think, qualified for the playoffs, and then of course had a chance chance for Shanghai, which is no longer the case as we talked about yesterday. What we do have to talk about, however, is this bit of drama. Now, I mentioned this tweet for you guys yesterday. I talked about it in a little bit, maybe for 10 seconds, but I didn't really discuss too much of the reaction to it, which has continued into today, which is why we're going to get into it more. So G2 tweet this out, send fans right now. Obviously, bit of a suicide joke going on here with this emoji. Look, I can understand why this would offend people. To me, it's like, whatever, it doesn't really bother me, but I can understand why it may. It's a tweet that obviously got through the relevant social media channels, and it's out there on the timeline. And to be honest, when I saw it, I thought, you know what, that might not last too long. But no, it's still up there as of recording, and, well, we'll get into some of the reaction to it. So, yeah, obviously VALORANT saying, yeah, time to delete this one. Now, this was another kind of sideline drama, which was very funny, so I've got to talk about it. So this guy, Derke, who's obviously like a Derke fan account, right? So here he is. Obviously, this isn't the guy who runs the accounts, because this is Derke from Fnatic. This is, like a fan account, Derke. You guys know how it goes here in the sport. So, pretty funny stuff. And as he says, people crying over an emoji with a video game weapon. I can tell most people complaining about this have their pronouns on profile and dyed hair. So then this Kaya girl comes out and says, that's why you've got no chin and you're balding. So this is Kaya on her, this is her account right here. So, I mean, look, we got the pronouns in the bio or whatever, so maybe felt, some type of way about this tweet from Derke. So, obviously, Kaya comes out with this. This is the funny thing, right? So, Kaya obviously sees this from Derke and thinks, oh, well, this is obviously the guy, right? This is, he's balding, he's got no chin or whatever it was, right? And then, obviously, this Derke, fan account, as it were, then comes back to kind of roast her, and then she then replies with the following, which is, absolutely sensational. You see, bald, unibrow, downturned eyes, no chin, pube stash, somewhere you're missing a bottom lip too. So trying to absolutely roast this guy, but of course, the funny thing is, this ain't actually, she's not roasting Derke because she thinks she's roasting him, but she doesn't realize that actually that's Derke. So then Derke comes in and replies, and I mean, this is to be pretty sensational. Don't they give you special vehicles in the airports to get around quicker? So, 500,000 views, 7,000+ likes. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know if Derke was going to get involved in this, but he obviously saw that he was catching strays. She's now deleted the post, and yeah, Derke absolutely comes for the jugular on this one. So this was just like a whole side drama to what we actually saw, because as Zekken says, how is this tweet still up? He tweeted this out last night, 14,000 likes. And yeah, the feeling is that maybe this was inappropriate by G2, and lots of Sentinels fans were frustrated at, the decision-making by their social media accounts and whether this kind of joke is justified in the circumstances. Now, there's been some backlash to this because, we've got people like Nicholas talking about, how is a suicide joke on Mental Health Awareness Month? How is this improved by the team and the company? Should it even be allowed? Should Riot be stepping in to shut this down? But I think you've got to remember that it's not the only time this type of stuff has happened. I mean, this was a tweet from Zelsis back on the 14th of April, O2 versus Lev, and, this is obviously a similar type of thing. Not from the official Sentinels accounts, mind you, so maybe that's a slightly different story, but from one of the players from a Sentinels endorsed account, and, this joke was not really talked about as being a problem at the time, and then when G2 do something relatively similar, all of a sudden it's now an issue, and as G2 Josh says, when G2 does this, wow, here we go, start to talk trash. When Sentinels post guns and 9/11 jokes, silence, and people aren't seeing it. So the 9/11 joke they're talking about, by the way, is, I think this one, yeah, here we go. So a second dog killer's hit the server. So yeah, 9/11 joke here from back in March. Look, I didn't really think of anything of it at the time. I don't think that most people in the community did. There wasn't much, reaction to it, right, as a result. So, people have remembered it, though, to be fair, because they're now bringing it up again in the G2 case. So what do you guys think about this? I thought this reply was kind of funny as well. I threw it on the thumbnail here, actually, from Ashish, who says, yeah, when Sentinels does it, it's fine. When G2 do it, all of a sudden it's a problem, right? But yeah, what do you guys think about that in the comment section below? Definitely some drama from various angles. I'll share a bit of what Tarek had to say on this as well in just a couple of seconds. Just before we close out, though, VALORANT, as they say, how I miss you, right? Because Haven's now been gone for some time. When is Haven coming back? We don't have a change to the map pool now, but it is possible that after Shanghai we might have something. What map do you think is going to come back, though? Will they bring in an updated version of Haven back first? Because I think most people would like Breeze to go, and I think there's a lot of feeling that Icebox maybe should go as well. But I think get rid of Breeze, that would be fine. But you've then got to bring a map back. Is it Pearl? Possibly. Is it Fracture? Possibly. I think it should be Haven, assuming they've made some tweaks to potentially make the map a little bit less stale than it previously was. Although I think Haven was still fine in its previous format. But very much enjoyed your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.
Oh my god, I saw G2's tweet. Is everyone mad at G2 for this tweet? Actually though, right? I mean, look, I don't think like... I don't know. Is it that bad? I mean, I understand, but... Hold on. But you probably shouldn't have tweeted it, though. It's, like, unnecessary, right? Wait, they deleted it? Oh, there it is. They didn't even delete it. All right, what are we doing here? Okay, do we think this tweet was too far? That's what we're gonna ask. Not really, right? Check the Drake drama. There's more news? Where is it? Oh, Derke, not Drake. Oh, don't they give you a special vehicle in the airports to get around quicker? What does that mean? What's this too? What the fuck? He roasted a high-calorie individual? That's the nicest fucking way you could have said it. He said high-calorie individual. What the fuck?